Well, howdy, howdy, ho, good friends. So, how's everybody doing? I think I made a promise to do a video on the new property up at the cabin this past weekend, which I didn't. It's now midweek, the following week. I don't know. I'm working on so many projects, just having so many fun. I'm working on so many projects and having so much fun that I just don't think to record anything, right? I'm not, carrying my phone around a lot of the times, and just enjoying the property. So I will. I'll definitely film something eventually up there. Probably will end up filming a lot up there. There's a lot of projects and ideas that I have for the property and for utilizing the property in a way that will support my daily rituals and habits and health and well-being. So stay tuned. But I I had this inclination to do this video today about your maintaining your focus, your attention, your attention span, um, your ability to maintain your power. And what I mean by that is a lot of people are giving their power away and they don't even know it. They don't even realize they're giving their power away. And we all do it. We all do it to some extent, but the more you do it throughout the day, every day, the more you're going to make a habit out of it, and the less you're going to be living your life the way you want to live it. So, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by giving your power away? Well, first of all, you're spending 95% or more, maybe even 99% of your day in on an automatic pilot, essentially. You are not necessarily in control of 95% of your day or more. And that's a true fact. Neuroscience talks about this all the time. And you're probably wondering, what in the world is he talking about? Well, we are only consciously in control of our day about 5% or even less, maybe even 2%. It depends on the individual, right? So that means we're only really consciously aware of the decisions we're making, how we're reacting, our behaviors, our habits, right? I mean, and a perfect example of not being in control is think of bad habits you have, right? We all have different bad habits, but think of some of the bad habits you have that you cannot control, that you cannot get rid of. One of the reasons is because it's essentially a habitual thought process and behavior process and emotional response process, right? This is a whole physiological, neurological process that's well established, and it's carrying you through the day. And so it's almost impossible to change that. Once something sinks into your subconscious mind, becomes a habit, and they start with thoughts, and these thoughts, every time you have a thought, you're having some sort of emotion, whether you know it or not. The emotions could be subconscious as well, which means you're unconscious to them. And these become habitual and well ingrained in the neurological network, and you're just not in control of your daily habits. So think about what you do when you first wake up. A lot of us just do the same thing. Whatever we do, we a lot of times we're grabbing our phone, reading through social media, reading emails, and we're plugging into the same person we were the day before. And we have very little control over that, and we don't want to change it because it's comfortable. So when you try to do something different, right, a different behavior, different reaction, it feels different. It feels uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. So we tend to stick to the familiar, to the known. So that's why a lot of people go through their day in and day out, doing the same things, being the same person, the same personality, the same beliefs, the same conditioning, the same reactions, the same triggers over and over again their entire lives. Think about it. Think about it. You don't have to be stuck in this same personality, these same behaviors, these same habits for the rest of your life. You got to work with your mind to change them. That's going to be the single most important way of changing it. Trying to use different tricks and techniques and willing yourself isn't necessarily going to work. You literally got to change your mind. You got to change your thoughts. You got to change the subconscious mind. And that could be hard to do, especially if you don't understand it or if you don't know how to do it. But there are lots of great ways of changing the subconscious mind, instilling new beliefs, instilling new behaviors, habits, erasing things that cause you issues, right? Certain triggers, certain underlying thought patterns that don't serve you, that cause anger or sadness or depression or anxiety. And you can work through that stuff. You can eliminate that stuff. You can instill new things. So that's one way you're giving your power away. You're just living your life every day wishing you had a different life or did things differently or magically was lucky and having more of whatever. But you don't change your habits, you don't change your behaviors, you're not changing your thoughts, you're not working on your mental hygiene. You're not working on your mental hygiene. If you're not working on your mental hygiene, then I don't know how you expect to change. So my low battery indicator just came up. We're still recording, so I guess I won't go too long because the phone's gonna die. It's 8 a.m. and my phone's already dying because I didn't plug it in last night. I don't take my phone in the bedroom. I don't I don't even look at my phone in the evening usually at all. So I just kind of set it down after work and don't look at it. Anyway, but that's beside the point. So you're giving your power away to underlying thought patterns, beliefs that are well ingrained. They're just neurological habits followed by behaviors and emotions, and you're just in this cycle, right? And so if you don't like something about the way you are or the way you react or part of your personality that you'd like to change, maybe you'd like to feel healthier, more abundant, more prosperous, more excited, more joyful, more humorous, whatever, you could do that. You could work on that. So you're giving your power away, and that's one way. But you're also giving your power away to other people. And this all kind of ties back together to your mindset, your thought patterns, your behaviors, your triggers. You may be worried about what people think of you. You may be worried about criticism, judgment. You may be worried that you're not good enough. And you're giving your power away. So if people are saying things to you, right? If somebody walks up to you on the street and calls you an effing moron, right? Some people, they'll react in one way while other people will react in another way. And there could be a whole range and variety of different reactions, right? One person might get mad and you might punch that person, right? Another person might laugh and be like, what the hell? Another person might just ignore him and keep walking. So what's my point? My point is, if you do react and you go into a stressful state of being, a sympathetic response, which is going to be the fight or flight or freeze or whatever, if you go into that, you're changing the physiology of your body because you're reacting to what you believe, what you're interpreting about what they said. They called you an effing moron, and now you're angry. So you essentially are giving your power away to them. They've taken power from you. You were just minding your business, going about your day, and somebody stopped you, called you an effing moron. Now you're angry because you've allowed yourself to be triggered. And usually, if you're getting triggered where you're upset, right, where you're angry, you're giving your power away to them because there's something about what they said to you that you believe to be true. You're interpreting something about it, and you may not even be aware of it. You may not be aware of why you're angry, right? Be like, oh, well, somebody insulted me. But what's that mean? What does that mean? Some people get insulted and they laugh it off, right? So what's the difference? One of them, the person who's getting mad and upset, is giving their power away. The person that laughs it off and continues moving forward and they're laughing like that was hilarious, they're not giving their power away. They're still in control. So think about that. How often are you getting triggered and giving your power away? And I know it's not easy because I still get triggered at times, right? I still give my power away to people. I hate watching the news, right? I don't like watching the news at all. And so when I hear the news, I kind of cringe. And that's just something I'm working on because I know how influential the news is, how well it conditions and programs people through fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Even commercials, like they're programming through. That's why they spend millions of billions of dollars on marketing, because there are psychological effects, physiological effects that these marketing gurus have on you. That's why they do it. That's why they market. That's why if it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. They're not just trying to present their product. They're trying to condition you to buy their products. The news is trying to condition you so you continue to watch it. So the best way to sell ratings is to do it through fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That way you keep watching it. If you were super happy, if you were super joyful, if you felt really good, you wouldn't even want to watch the news. You'd be out doing whatever you want to do because you're so happy. But people get programmed, and it becomes habitual. They give their power away. You're giving your power away by reacting, by being triggered. If somebody says something to you that you don't agree with and you get upset about it, you're giving your power to them. So there's part of trying to become more powerful, more empowered, right? One way to become more empowered is becoming aware of this in the first place. If you're unaware of this, then it's hard to even understand this. But when you start to build your self-awareness, you can become more empowered. You can become more creative. You can be more centered, more grounded. And then you could live the life you want to live. You don't have to give your power away. It's still going to happen. Still happens to me, but much less than it used to years ago. And I feel happier. I'm healthier. I'm more vibrant. I'm more full of vitality. I'm more confident because I'm in control of my life. And you don't have to give your power away to social media, to people, to devices ringing and dinging and all that stuff. Turn that shit off. You don't have to give your attention and focus away every time you hear that phone vibrating and dinging and jinging. You don't have to know about every single post on social media, and if somebody's commenting, you don't have to know every time an email comes through. You're literally giving your power away every single time you get one of those notifications. You're breaking your attention and your focus. You feel like you have less time in the day because you're focusing on other people's agendas. These are other people's agendas for you. Every email, every text message, every notification you get is someone else's agenda for you. They're taking your attention and your focus away. Do you really want to give it away? Wouldn't you love to have more time to be creative, to be empowered, to do the things you want to do, to not be bothered, right? Break those habits. There's emotions tied to it too. And there's physiological responses, different hormones and dopamine and stuff gets tied to the way you react and how you're being triggered, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. So you need to break that chemical dependency too. It's like a drug. And that's why you get a little dopamine release when you get those notifications, and then you become tied to the device. You become tied to other people's agendas for you, and you have less control. You're giving your focus away. You're giving your attention away. You're being distracted. You're more distracted. Humans are more distracted now than they ever were. Attention spans have shrunk so small. It's crazy. It's hard to even have a conversation with somebody because they got to look at their their iWatch, their iPhone, whatever. I mean, everybody's distracted, and there's excuse me, getting a little. I got to take a little sipperoo here. All right. And there's huge marketing engines being built on artificial intelligence that they're already built. They're just becoming smarter and more powerful to take your attention away from yourself. So you're focused on buying and consuming and paying attention to other people's agendas, other companies' agendas. And you need to be more empowered. Take your power back. Become more self-aware. All right, so we're moving on to 15 minutes here. My phone's probably going to die, so I'm going to finish this up. How do you start to do this? Well, first of all, you don't have to watch the news all the time. You don't have to be notified on everything. Turn all the stuff off of your devices. You don't have to see every email that comes in. You could start by doing that. Secondly, start doing things differently. If you don't like your personality, you don't like the way behaviors you have, habits, whatever, start meditating. If you could sit yourself down and tell your body that's not going to want to do it, I am the mind and I'm going to sit down and we're going to meditate for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour. I meditated for an hour and 10 minutes today. Did my body want to do it? No. But once I got in and did it, it felt great. I felt great. And so you start to establish new neural networks. You start to become more self-aware. You start to become more aware of your surroundings through meditation because you thicken the corpus callosum. Your brain literally becomes smarter. You become more intelligent and more aware of your surroundings. You start to understand how this is affecting you. So start to meditate every single day. Start to journal. Do things that get you grounded. Go for a walk in nature and don't take your phone or turn your phone off. Turn off those turn off all those notifications. Stop living by other people's agendas. Stop giving your power away. Stop giving your attention away. And remember, if somebody is criticizing you, judging you, insulting you, and you're getting triggered by it, you're upset or worried about it, then you're giving your power away. So that's something you can meditate on. You can focus on. Start learning to control yourself through breathing. Control your nervous system, your responses. So those are just some ideas. That's just me rambling on, but I'm telling you what, if you want to live an exceptional life, then these are simple things you could do. You don't have to give your attention away. You don't have to be notified of everything and everyone and everything. That's just other people trying to take your attention, your focus. Do you really want to give it all away? Imagine how much you could do and the things you could do if you didn't give all of your focus and attention away to other people, to companies, to commercials, to news, to social media, whatever. So anyway, I hope everyone has a great day. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll be sure to bring more to you soon. All right, see ya.